question here. This is an issue of judgment about who you guys wanted in your administration. If there were published reports that your potential national security advisor had dealings with the government of Turkey, a controversial regime at this moment in time. Congressman Cummings sent a letter to Mike Pence during the transition informing him of this and raising a red flag. Mr. Pence was on television, I believe yesterday, saying twice that he had no knowledge of that letter.
That's right. No, that's not. Hold on. Stop. Hold on. No. But before you accuse the vice president of certain things, no. What he said was that he was not aware of the filing. Just so we're clear, and he wasn't. Thank you. Go on.
Just in terms of the larger question here, forget about filling out forms and the legalisms here. What does this say about the transition team's judgment about still appointing him as national security advisor when you had knowledge of this information?
No, but you're asking me forget about the legalisms. That's what we ask people to do, is follow the law. You can't forget about the legalisms. That's what you said. And what I'm saying is that's what we did. They consulted a lawyer, which everyone who had something of, is advised to do. That lawyer consulted the transition lawyer, who said it is your job to consult the appropriate lawyers.
Beyond the legal issues. I'm saying in terms of, we're moving beyond the issue of papers of the papers here. We're talking about the judgment that the president, the vice president, and your team made to select this man as national security advisor when you had information that he had these dealings with Turkey. Why did you guys still make that decision?
But it's a question, what dealings are you referring to? The fact that he had a client. He was also the head of the Department of the Defense Intelligence Agency, unbelievably qualified, 40 years in the military with impeccable credentials. I mean, so what is it that what is exactly are you getting at? Because so far he has impeccable credentials. He had a stellar career in the military, widely respected, and I think for you to sort to impugn his integrity.
President Pence said that yesterday, that he wouldn't have.
But there was no disclosure at the time. And the question is that if his counsel worked with whomever he worked with and determined that he didn't, that's up to him. But it was up to him. The burden is on the individual to seek the legal advice or professional expertise to decide what they have to file and not. I mean, we could literally have a hypothetical question about somebody who made an inappropriate filing on their tax returns, or a professional qualification. At the end of the day, when people present it with you, they are advised to seek expertise and counsel and legal advice about what's appropriate and what's not. That is not up to the transition attorneys to go through someone's livelihood and determine what they need to seek. They were given the proper legal advice at the time, which was to seek expertise in that matter. He had already obtained counsel, and that's.
Transition officials, let me just sort of clarify. The transition officials were not overly concerned by his relationship.
That's not a question of overly concerned, Glenn. The question is, did they provide him the avenue that they were supposed to, which is, did they tell him to seek counsel? And they did. And that's what's supposed to happen. That's it, plain and simple. Yes.
Sean, and simple, I guess the question for you very simply would be then right now, does this raise concerns that there may be other members of this administration or other members that served in the transition that were or are currently lobbying on behalf of foreign governments right now that may be advising the President of the United States?
No, look, I think we trust people to fill out the appropriate forms that they need to. And in this case, and the President acted accordingly back in the thing, and he made the right call then.
He may have been taking actions, though. He may have been
But Peter, right, you're asking me, can we, I mean, this is like saying, can you tell me that that the executives at NBC News have gone through every single person's and reporter's background? No, I understand that, but we trust people to fill out the forms that they're required to do so in an honest and legal manner. And in this case, he retroactively filed the forms that he was supposed to do, but we advised him to do what the legal and proper thing was, and that's the right thing for this administration. So we did the right thing then. And we expect every employee to follow the law. This president, when it comes to ethics, when it comes to lobbying, he instituted a 5-year ban. He banned people. He has ran on a commitment to drain the swamp. He has been very committed to making sure that we institute high standards here and that we're held to them. And so at the end of the day, when he found out that General Flynn had betrayed the trust of the vice president back in the day, he let him go. The president has high standards for everyone that works in this administration. So the answer to your question is, if somebody does something that is not in keeping with the president's standards that he set for every single person in the administration, they will be let go.
So do you have full faith in all those people that are advising the president right now?
I believe that everybody has done what has legally been required of them, but I can't tell you that that every single person has done everything. I can tell you the president has made clear to every person in this administration, you are expected to live up to the high standards that he has set for them. And that if you don't, you will be dismissed.
It's not going to get better. It's going to get worse every day in the media. And here's why. But by the way, the internal logic makes sense. They're corporatist, globalist media that are adamantly opposed to an economic nationalist agenda like Donald Trump has. It's going to get worse because he's going to continue to press his agenda. And as economic conditions get better, as more jobs get better, they're going to continue to fight. If you think they're going to give you your country back without a fight, you are sadly mistaken.